Welcome, citizen, to another Starcraft Nation broadcast. This is your host, Venerati. During today's segment, I'm going to be covering the third game of 3 in between Team SC2GG and Team Cuns, competing in the Blush League. Now, representing Team SC2GG today, we are going to see Dimilo spawning as the purple Protoss, and representing Team Cuns, we're going to see Sibwolf over here spawning as the green Terran. And Sibwolf forecasting the game. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually correct or not. And he is out of practice, he says. I'm not so sure about that. We are going to see one way or another today. Of course, we are on Lost Temple, and the spawning positions here are going to lean itself to some sort of air action, I would think, as both sides right there, you can just go skirt across and you can go visit their main base. Maybe not. I don't really know, as it's really going to be up to the players here. And we have both of them trying to crank out their economies here, as we do have Dimilo not saving up his Chrono Boost and is going to go ahead and Chrono Boost out his economy. And we do see both players here scouting out, trying to find out where their enemy is, trying to see what they're doing, and hopefully counter whatever it is that they're going to be bringing to the field. Now, of course, this early on, there really isn't that much to see, as you do only see the very base production buildings going down. And of course, through scouting, you might be able to see the fact there's like two really early refineries, and you're going to know that something's going down. Either you're going to see a Banshee or an early tank push or something that requires a lot of tech. Versus right now, we only have a single refinery down. So you could feel kind of assured that you're not going to see a lot of Banshee or a lot of early tech. And same thing over here. You would see a lot of Vespene guys are already taken up. You know some shenanigans are up, like a Void Ray Rush. I haven't seen a Void Ray Rush in a long time. I need to look for something like that. But we do have Dimilo doing a nice placement here, as he is putting his pylon in the very back, going to go ahead and power these buildings and allow them to be the gatekeepers, as both of these buildings are so much stronger than this little wafer of a pylon, and leaving that nice tiny little gap for a zealot to hold position in and keep any sort of units from running by, just like this SCV just did. And he is going to be seeing what Dimilo is doing. And we do see him queue up those nice little movements there. And we do have a Marine up here on the ledge. Get a nice snipe by that Marine. Gets the first kill of the game, and that probe is reduced to ashes. As we do see a Marauder coming up here, and we do see Stim for Sibwolf here, not choosing to get the early upgrade of Concussive Shell, as it is much cheaper. And we do not see any SCVs being built for Sibwolf. Oh, there we go. Alright, as I say, you need to be cranking out those SCVs early on in the game like that, because you do not want to fall behind in economy. As right now, we are seeing Dimilo slightly ahead in the Harvester count, as he was Chrono Boosting out probes like a madman during this entire little session so far. So that's allowing him to move ahead, but we do see the Mule here really breaching that gap and actually putting Sibwolf right toe-to-toe with the chrono-boosted economy of Dimilo. So, got to get that orbital command, because if you don't get that orbital command early on, you're not able to use those mules. And if you don't use mules, then you are a sad Terran player, as you will get stomped relatively, well, not necessarily relatively easy, but you are going to get stomped a lot easier than you would beforehand. Either way, we are seeing 2 more gateways coming down for Dimilo. Don't know if we're going to see a 3 Robo or if we're going to see another gateway coming down. Not too sure, as he does have enough minerals for it, and we do have 3 racks coming. Well, we already have 2 racks down and a 3rd rack coming down for Sibwolf. We do have a reactor, so we are going to see, not sure if that next one is going to be a tech lab or another reactor, so we're going to see a nice combination of units here. Either way, we're not just going to see mass Marines or mass Marauders, as we do have 3 Marauders on the field. Actually, we have 4 Marauders. Let's go ahead and take a look at the unit tab. Yes, we have 4 Marauders and 1 Marine versus 2 Zealots, a Stalker, and a Sentry, and a 5th Marauder just came online for Sibwolf. So let's go. We do have both refineries populated here by, well, actually we have both Vespene geysers fully populated by both players here. And we do see robotics facility being spawned right here. And I'm not sure if we're going to see a counter to the Marauder Menace with the Immortals, which they are so great at that, or if we're going to see observers, which observers are a crucial part of any Protoss player's arsenal, any sort of build, or you should have observers, as you can just right-click an army and have that observer follow that army and pretty much be able to keep tabs on it during the entirety of the game unless someone scans or gets a Raven. Either way, we do see Sibwolf doing a good job of skirting the outside of this ledge right here. He is going to be pressing some sort of advantage right now, as we do see a slight Stalker advantage right here. Either way, we do see the Marine leading the charge up the ramp. They do stem. That Marine does die. We do see the other Marine right here skirting that ledge, and we do see a force field, late force field coming down, trying to keep any sort of reinforcement out and any retreating units out as well. That one Marauder got way too close to that ledge and paid the price. He nearly died there. And once again, just showing the true power of this little peninsula here. The Peninsula of Power, as these Stalkers are able to utilize the high ground effect and are able just to rain hell on anyone around it. So it's basically turning them into an artillery piece, as this early in the game, you're not going to see a Terran player with any sort of height advantage or flying units unless they did that early rush to Banshees, or if they decided to go get some medevacs early on, or you could even float a factory. But either way, we see none of that for Sibwolf here, as he does not even have a factory. We do see a factory just queued up there, but we do see him going ahead and throwing down the expansion, as well as Dimilo. So both of them getting the expansions around the same time. Dimilo is slightly slower here than Sibwolf, but Sibwolf is going to be getting the factory, so it does look like he's going to advance up the tech tree ever so slightly, and we have a Ghost Academy coming online. So this is really, really crucial here. This Ghost Academy is so powerful, not in and of itself, but the Ghosts are so powerful against the Protoss units, A, because of the EMP, and B, Snipe is pretty damn effective considering it does 45 damage no matter what, as it ignores all armor. So you can really do a lot of micro there with those Ghosts and just snipe the crap out of units, especially Zealots, as they do have to span that gap and get in melee range. And we do see an Observer here. So great use of this Observer. Going to be seeing it. Now this is kind of dangerous placement for the Observer, as Sibwolf can most likely see this, as most players are able to see these. And he could just pop a scan right there, and these Marines would down that Observer in a heartbeat, as these Observers are tiny little blisters just waiting to be popped. And we're seeing a we are seeing a robotics bay coming down to augment the robotics facility, so we are going to see Colossus here. So Dimilo doing a good job of trying to combat the Marine Marauder bio ball that we see down already. And we do see the Starport coming online for Sibwolf, so Sibwolf is probably going to go ahead and get some medevacs, as this army is in desperate need of a couple of healing rays. Now going back to Dimilo, I like the army composition, except for one thing. He has a lot of Zealots, which are great, but they don't have legs. At this point, if you're going up a Marine Marauder ball, especially if they have concussive shell, you need legs to breach that gap, because these guys have to span a long distance. I would like to see a few more Stalkers, honestly, and take out a couple of these Zealots, as they'll do a great job of soaking up damage, which at this point, this is really what they do. But either way, Dimilo is pushing out with this composition. We don't see any sort of upgrades for him, and we don't see any upgrades for Sibwolf either. So we don't even have an engineering bay down or forge down. So Dimilo is coming up here, is going to be able to neutralize this high ground advantage with its Observer. So we do see the MP blast going down on Dimilo's forces. All of these guys just lost their shield. Let's go take a look at the health type. Yeah, half of the Dimilo's forces just lost their shield. So these Terran units able to really take advantage of that. And we saw a focus fire of another one. And we see a nuke being cast down by this Ghost right here. So Dimilo, I don't know if Dimilo saw that or heard the warning, but if he does not move here relatively soon, he is going to lose a lot of forces. And oh, he does move. Oh, and he goes back, and we see a lot of units take not really a lot of units, but we saw a fair number of Stalkers take damage there. And it's so rare for you to see a nuke being used in a game like that. That was awesome. I love nukes, and right now I love Sibwolf for using that nuke, as nukes are so hard to use effectively because the timing on it is such a delay. Oh god, it's like, yeah, 20 seconds to land that nuke. Yeah, no thanks. How are you supposed to, unless you're psychic, you're not going to be able to tell where the army is at that point. So Dimilo's forces retreat back to the Zelnaga Tower and are licking their wounds, as we do see some more Stalkers coming up for, and we see Thermal Lance